many things together. First thing that I myself, suppose for example, if you ask me question about fiqh, so I mostly quote different rulings or different imams' rulings to make the issue easier. That suppose in one school one opinion, other school other opinion, and we respect both, and both are based on Quran and Sunnah. The only issue is that there are two effort we call ijtihad. So ijtihad maybe go in this way or that way. So this is not the issue. So maybe a person will follow a school, but same time we must respect other school as well, right? Because the discussion among our scholars, two things very important. One thing that they are not saying that it is my desire, it is my way to say. He say it is my understanding, and this is the dalil, right? So, first thing is very important. Second thing is that when we go with the different kind of thing, so in fiqh, the schools are based on two kind of understanding of text, two kind of understanding. One is literalist. The word is said and they take it as it is, right? Other school is based on logical understanding. So the difference mostly goes in these two categories. The second thing is that their difference is better to best. And suppose if you ask them, this way is allowed or not, they say allowed, but for me, this one is better. So the issue is not halal and haram, but the issue between good and better and best. So this is just like a best of our question answer, inshallah. Okay, so there are many questions related to fiqh and aqidah and many things. So first question is Dajjal. Dajjal era in reference of to females going out of control and what we can do about that. I don't know how you drafted this question, but I don't think this question should be in this way. The Dajjal is a warning. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that every Nabi warned about the coming of Dajjal. But I am giving you two things. First thing, it will come surely in this ummah. And second thing, I am giving you the alamat or signs from where you can understand who is Dajjal. But historically, in the time of Bani Israel, they were given the coming of three people. One is Messiah or Masih. And the other person, suppose Anbiya from the time of Ishaq or Ibrahim salam up to Isa alayhi salam. Third thing is that the coming of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when the time of Isa alayhi salam was there, so he was the Messiah. And Messiah actually in their understanding, the person who wash head of kid, so then he become adopted or atonement, or just like he become baptized. So when Isa alayhi salam he said, I am the Messiah, they refused to accept him. Then the Yahya alayhi salam, they asked him, are you that Nabi? He said, no, I am not that Nabi. Are you Messiah? I said, no, I am not Messiah. So they were expecting, but what they did, they tried to crucify Isa alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as he said in Quran, they never killed him, they never crucified him, and we took him back. And he will come. He will come. So it means that Christian believe that the Messiah is Isa alayhi salam. And they believe the next coming, second coming of Isa alayhi salam. They are believing also the same thing as we believe. And we also believe that Isa alayhi salam is Masih, but he will come back. But he will not come back as a prophet, but he will come as a part of this ummah to fulfill the mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Why he will come back? Any other Nabi? The reason is that when the false Masih will come, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send true Masih to destroy him. Right? For this reason we call the Dajjal Masihud Dajjal. Right? And Dajjal, actually the word Dajjal in Arabic means mixing truth and false. And you are not able to distinguish. Right? And Dajjal is a superlative style. Right? Dajjal. Dajjal. And Rasulullah said in one hadith, in this ummah there will be Thalasuna Dajjaluna Kazzabun. In this ummah there will be 30 Dajjal, liar. And everyone will claim I am Nabi and no Nabi after me. So Dajjal is the extreme point of Dajjal. Right? It started from many people. They claim that they are so and so, but he will be the extreme. The second thing is that when he will come, so Rasulullah sallam give us lot of information about his coming. Right? He didn't give us the date, no date, but he gave the alamat. Right? So there are a few things. One thing that he will born in a Jewish family. Very, you can say, just like you can say, the family, they have no baby for a long time. And he will grow very strange life. He will grow up very quick and so on. Then he will be the master of those whole world. And he will stay in this universe for 40 days. Right? One day first will be equal to 1 year. Second day will be equal to 1 month. Third will be equal to 1 week. And then 37 days normal. So Sahaba asked, how we will pray? He said, you will measure. It means, suppose, for example, if we have a Fajr after Zuhr, 6 hours, so we will pray after 6 hours. Asr, 4 hours, we will pray Zuhr, Asr, and so on. So we will pray 1 year's time, 1 day. And it was too tough. What? Tough means he has 2 rivers. One river of fire, one river is water. And if someone believe in him, he will give him escape, otherwise he... So Rasulullah said, if you see him and he asks you to go, so jump in the river of fire. And it will be your safety. Second thing, he will stop. He will stop anything to go to Muslim, just like what's happening in Gaza. You can see it right now. Same thing is happening now. And it will happen whole world. It is happening in Gaza and it will happen whole world. So Rasul was asked, how we will survive? Right? So he said, when you say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, you will not feel hungry. Your whole survival will be Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah. The third thing, very important issue, that he will try to enter in all places except Medina and Mecca. He will not be able. And he will do some kind of, and strangely, you can surprise to see that the Rasulullah said he will ride a donkey with huge ears, right? How you can connect this issue with our time? If you connect the donkey with airplane, so you can see 2 wings, right? So he will, and they said there will be a big fight. Then a bird will flying and he will drop. He will die. People said many things, but really you can say maybe there will be atomic war, right? And the pollution will be not only on the planet but in space also. So these things will happen. But one thing which Rasul said that he will, when he will be there, and he siege the Damascus, the Syria city. And he said when they will there, so Isa alayhi salam will come down. So he will come down here, then he will, the angels take him to make tawaf, and then he will come back. And they say, open the door. When the Dajjal will see him, he run away. And he will melt as like a salt. And the Rasul says, Isa alayhi salam kill him In these days there is a very huge airplane or airport there, army airplane, Lida, or we call in Arabic Lud. He will kill him there. So, and Rasulullah Isa Islam will stay for many years. He will marry, then he will bury, and all religion will disappear after Isa Islam. There will be only one deen. And second thing, there will be no any kind of need of money. All people will be very prosperous for things like that, right? But then the next journey starts when believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a special way to die, and then the only remaining people will be bad, and then that qiyamah thing, and there are many other things. But the issue is what is very important thing is that Dajjal means what? Dajjal means some person who is putting in our heart doubts, right? Oh, Allah is existing or not? Rasul is really deen. This deen can work, can apply in our time or not? Any doubt, if it is there in the heart, Dajjal will be the person who will benefit from it. If we have 100% yaqeen, then Dajjal cannot harm us, right? A person will come out from Medina and he will say, you are Dajjal. So he will kill him and then he will make him alive. And you can see now in these days, the revival of life has become easy thing, right? You can plant a new heart, you can plant new thing, but he will do. But when he will come alive, he said, now I believe more that you are Dajjal. And then he will not be able to catch him. So I'm saying, one hadith said, and it's very strange and actually very important for us. He said, any person has a doubt about the Dajjal, he will believe in him if he is in a grave. Right? So it means our journey of Iman supposed to make us to consider that Dajjal is not nothing. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one time a person asked him about Dajjal. He said, listen, Dajjal has no value in eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? He has no value. Nothing. He cannot hurt Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm saying, for example, the issue of this thing. So there will be many followers. It's not the issue of woman or man, any person, right? Anything can happen. So we should not, for example, limit this issue in this way. But only thing we must recite Surah Al-Jum'ah Day, Surah Al-Kahf, because it is giving the journey of Ashabul Kahf, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved them, right, from the tyranny of the rulers, and they survived 300 years. In current situation, yeah.
If anybody has any questions they want to ask, you can raise your hand, inshallah.
About the fiqh of Salah, or fiqh of the timings of Salah. Because in summer especially, the nights are very hot. And like in many mosques, Isha is on the late time and Fajr is at the early time. So what is the fiqh of Salah timing?
Yeah. I must clarify two things. I will give you the fiqh of timing. But what administration of masjid do, it is not my job, right? How they make the, for example, timing of azan, how they make the time of jamaat, it is a different issue. But in my understanding, two things are confirmed in the Quran. One thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Inna salata kanat al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta. The salat is time bound. Yani we should do, right, salat on its due time. And this is the reason why in our fiqh, we have two categories of salat. One we call ada. Ada means on-time salat. And one other thing we call qada. Qada means when the time is gone, but still I have to do it, right? So it is qada. Second thing is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as hadith reported, that he was laid by Jibreel alayhi salam 2 days. So first day he laid him first beginning time of salawat, 5 times. 5 prayers, right? And then next day he did end time of salawat. Then he said, this is the time for you and for your ummah. So this issue is also done that in end and beginning time. Now, our measurement for days is based on sun, right? Day and night start with sun. And month, measurement is moon. So our lunar calendar is based on for our month. Our solar system is for our days and nights, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran three things. He said, Rabbul Mashriq wal Maghrib. He is the Rabb of one Mashriq and one Maghrib, right? And other places he said, Rabbul Mashriqain wa Rabbul Maghribain. He is the Rabb of two Mashriq and two Maghrib. And then he said, Rabbul Mashariq wal Magharib. He is the Rabb of many, you know, where you can say the east and many west. What it means? It means many things. But in our understanding, I myself, it is my study, I am not saying it's my own, but it is a study done by others, that our time zone are three. In this planet, we have three time zones. First time zone is aquatic. Aquatic means which is normal time zone, right? Where the most difference between summer and winter, hour and half, right? If you are praying Isha in suppose summertime, maybe 8:30 or something, and in winter time 7 o'clock, suppose. It is normal time zone. Normal time zone are known by 5 alamat. And remember this thing, 5 alamat. First, starting of Fajr, right? Second, sunrise, right? Third, the middle of sun, which we call zenith, right? Zawal. Fourth is Maghrib. Fourth is sunset. Fifth one is Shafaq. Shafaq means when sun disappears, there are two signs of it remaining. First one is reddish part, and second one is white part. Right? 5 alamat. Aquatic countries, 5 alamat are 100% measurable. You can see it. If you go to outside in night time, you can see when the Fajr starts. Because Rasulullah said there will be Fajr which is kazib, which is not, right? It will be just like a tail of a fox, right? But the other Fajr will spread in horizon. It is Fajr time. Sunrise, of course, when sunrise, right? When the shadow of something becomes zero, then it is middle time. And then Zawal starts, right? Shafaq, sunrise, sunset also exact, right? Shafaq, in our understanding, according to Hadith, there are 2 Shafaq. One is reddish part, other is whitish part, right? This is the thing. In our zone we are living, I call it abnormal zone. What is this? Abnormal. What it means? There are 2 alamat are 100% true. 2 alamat only. What are these? Sunrise and sunset. You see that observatory says sunset for 6 and this will be happen, right? But here also a little bit touchy issue, right? What they mean by sunset? What they mean by sunset? Do you know what they mean? Yeah. What is the sunset? So sunset means the tip of sun is set or whole sun? Tip, right? Yeah, he's right. Because observatory says sunset when the tip is disappearing. But it not mean the whole sun is. So according to us, when we will break our fast? Tip of the sun or the whole sun? Whole sun, right? So it means when they say it is 8:55, so it means 2-3 minutes more. So sun will disappear. But the three things, suhoor, zawal, and shafaq issue. Shafaq is a different issue, but two things are under hisab. Under hisab means you cannot go outside any time in night time and you cannot see Fajr here. Why? And you cannot see the zero shadow. Why? Why you cannot see it? We are in north. So the sun is going this way, right? In normal country. In our situation, sun is going this way, right? So this is the reason why our difference start when we will start Fajr. Because Fajr is according to the Hisab. And Hisab may vary, right? So I say, okay, Fajr start 4:30. Others say 4:50, so on. So this is the issue of difference. It is not the issue of halal and haram. But in my understanding, for Fajr time, whatever easy for Ramadan fasting, take it. What is good for suhoor, it is good, but not good for Fajr. Make Fajr sure that Fajr is started. Zawal issue also is under measurement. This is the reason why when you come here, so you see today the Fajr Zuhur time is suppose one start when 1:26 or 20, right? But it may start 10 minutes earlier. Because any time you go outside, you cannot see the zero shadow because sun is going this way. The other issue, suhoor, shafaq issue. So we have two opinions. Imam Abu Hanifa, he says the reddish part and white part. Imam Muhammad, Imam Shafi'i, he see the shafaq is reddish part. What is easier for us in summertime? Summertime, what is easier for us? A reddish part. If we go with white part, what will happen? Maghrib will continue at least 2 hours. At least. So we say that for us, better to take the opinion of Imam Shafi and Imam Muhammad, right? That it is the reddish part. Washafaqu al-humra. It is also hadith. One hadith is also there, other way. So I'm saying, for example, the abnormal situation is here. So mostly the Isha time making a little bit difficult for us when we go with white part, right? If we choose the shafaq, how much time it takes in summertime to disappear reddish part? Any? Okay. Any other? Any other guess? Okay. Yeah, any other? It is going a little bit long. So I'm saying my observation is that Maghrib Shafaq time mostly it is hour and few minutes, maybe 15 minutes or something. It is the thing, right? But we make ihtiyat, so we say hour and a half, right? So it is not any issue, but and this is the reason why I advise, especially for elders and for kids, if they are going to school, when they should pray Isha, how much earlier they can pray, right? So hour and quarter of hour is okay. But now, for example, the administration say, no, we will take the better opinion, or we will take hour and a half and so on, whatever. So I'm not talking about this issue, but I'm giving you. The third time is no time zone linked to sun. And it is where? In Nunavut or, that's this Scandinavian or this, you can say the Arctic. Like a Scandinavian other thing. So it means there the time has no link with sun. So how we will do it? Dajjal hadith, as we did. We will take time of hisab. How they divide their day? How they count their day? By sun? No, by hours, right? Same thing we will do. So that one, so our position little bit difficult. We are not normal and we are not extraordinary. So we are trapped between. So our any time zone of summer is very, very 5 hours difference, right? Between summer and winter. And Rasulullah said in one hadith, it is very helpful for us here. The Rabi, the summer, Shita, is the Rabi al Mu'min. Is the springtime of believers. What it means. Right? Too fast to pray all Zohr, Asr, Maghrib, just very quick. Right? And you are finished very earlier, right? So I'm saying this is the time zone. And if you, for example, go with this kind of understanding, I think it will help you to make your journey of fasting and journey of salat in the summer and winter, in both are same way, right? You were saying, you have said.
I have a question regarding the prayer. So you're supposed, if I'm praying like 2 rakat, and after 2 rakat, I just stand up for 3rd rakat, and I was reciting the Surah Fatiha, then I realized that it is my not 2nd rakat, it's 3rd rakat. So what should do in that case? Should I sit down or I should complete the rakat like with ruku and everything?
No, you pray 2 rakat.
It is stand up for 3rd
And
rakat.
do you stand up without
Yeah.
sitting.
Or not?
Without sitting. So you should not come back.
Okay.
Because the jalsa means the sitting, first one is sunnah. And when you took a stand, it is wajib. So you cannot leave wajib for sunnah. So you will continue, but you make siddha saw.
Ruku as well, everything.
Not, so how?
Ruku as
No,
well.
no, just make siddha saw. Just siddha saw. Okay. Yeah, this is in current situation. Are we allowed to help Palestinian or do nafil umrah if we already done before? I am very confused. As Islam says, humanity comes first. Please do answer. Yeah, you know, I'm not confused, and I don't want to see you that you are confused. And the question should be that I am not clear about this issue, because confusion is giving a little bit different meaning, right? So we must understand one thing. There is a rule in fiqh. The rule is the first part of our ahkam, mandatory one, we have to do without any sacrifice, right? Suppose I came here in masjid, right? And Jamaat is there. But suppose a person said, oh, you know, brother, what happens outside, there's a problem. So you miss Jamaat. Can you do this thing? Because Jamaat is sunnah, right? And helping a person who suppose outside some problem, you can help him, so it is wajib. But to leave salat for serving of other person, it is not allowed. Because it is my first duty, right? I have to do. So our Qaida Sharia says, La isara fil ibadat. We cannot give preference to others to leave our salawat. This is the first thing, right? Second kind of ibadat, which we call nafil, right? Which is additional, which is required by, encouraged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not mandatory. In this thing, the rule is that any ibadah which benefiting others is better than benefiting myself only. What is the rule? You know, suppose if I pray 2 rakat, nafil, two rakat I'm praying. But suppose some person, just like suppose for example, he needs some help. Is it better to leave this salat and to help him, or to give my own ibadat? So they say that doing service for others is making you to get reward and getting other person to reward, right? So it is rule, right? So now the umrah is mandatory in our life, or it is just optional? It is optional. It is not mandatory. It is only mandatory when you go for tamattu hajj, right? For qiran hajj or tamattu hajj, then you have to make umrah. So if I am going for umrah, I don't, don't take me wrong, because hadith says, tabi'u bain al-hajj wal-umrah. follow one after one, Hajj after Hajj, Hajj after Hajj, and Umrah after Umrah. And I said, Al-Umrah, yani help a person to remove poverty, to remove from sin, right? And to increase risk. So these are benefits, nobody deny it. But the issue is that when we have a choice that I do this thing, benefit myself, or I do this thing and benefit other. So ulama said, then you do second thing which is better for you. So in that sense, yani I myself is my opinion that yes, if someone can do both, he can do Umrah and he can donate a good money for Gaza. So it is good. But if not, then he's supposed to prefer, for example, to do Gaza for a thing, and he will get more reward than he will get from Umrah. Yeah.
We can see if there's anybody in the audience who has any questions.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Sheikh. Can we just get an express version of the events that happened in Karbala, given that it's the month of Muharram? So not the long version, just an express version that we can get from you.
Yeah. I don't want to go in a long detail on fiction. Many things are fiction, right? And many things are not proven. But the issue, which is actually a core of a struggle of Sayyidina Hussein, is one thing. Very important thing is that our four khulafa, we call them Khulafa Rashidun, right? Why we call them? Three reasons to call them Khulafa Rashidun. Three reasons. What is the first reason? They were chosen by popular vote. Not few people, but popular vote. The majority of people voted for them. Right? They were not coming from king family or prince and so on. So first thing. Second thing, they were the source of power, or the ummah was source of power. Who is the source of power? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is source of power, right? But He now provided this authority to ummah or to Khalifa? Khalifa, right? They're right? Khalifa. And it is wrong. The ummah is given authority to run the affairs of ummah and deen. And this ummah will choose a person on behalf of them to run the affair. So the source of power is not Khalifa. Source of power is ummah, right? And this is the reason why ummah will choose a Khalifa first. Second thing is, there will be some advisors for Khalifa representing ummah. And he will not make any decision till he take consultation with them. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Right? Third thing is that money is a property of Khalifa, or it is a amana. It is amana, right? And he should not consider that money as own pocket, right? What happened after Khulafa? What happened? I am a good poet, and I went to some Khalifa, and I said good poetry for his praising him. So what he did? From where he give money? He has a right to do this thing? No, right? And this is what Khalifa, third thing is. So he is a bay'ah, and he is a power given by ummah. And third thing, he considered the ameen of money. Right? Umar radiallahu anhu said, I am just like a person of waliyul yatim. And I am just like an orphan money. So one time what happened? When Ka'b bin Zuhair, Ka'b bin Zuhair, you heard about this name? Ka'b bin Zuhair is a great poet. Great. His father Zuhair, he was among those their qasida was, hang on Kaaba. قصائد معلقات سبعة. And he actually said bad word Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So his brother become Muslim. He said, listen, now you will not be survived if you don't be Muslim. So he come and he said a qasida. His qasida called Banat Su'ad. He made a very big qasida. So you know what happened? What Rasulullah gave him? Do you know what he did? Anyone knows? He gave him prize. From where he gave the prize? He gave him his own sheet. He is wearing a sheet and he gave him this thing. From personal thing or from Baitul Mal? Right? And this burda is called burda or chadar. Right? It was barred by his family, by Muawiyah radhiyallahu anhu, with 200,000 dirham. Right? And it was used for Khulafa later as a way to sow on for Khilafah. Anyhow, this is a different story. But I'm saying he was not giving any money from Baitul Mal. Umar radhiyallahu anhu time, he did same thing. He said, I can give you something from my pocket, but I cannot give from Baitul Mal. But later what happened, after Muawiyah radhiyallahu anhu, he became Khalifa and he became united because Hassan radhiyallahu anhu, surrendered for him. But when he appointed his successor as his son, Yazid, right? So majority of Sahaba, they were not happy with it. But few of them, they were openly said it. Just like Abdullah ibn Umar and few people. They were said. He said it is just like a Kisra and Qaisar. Yani successor after successor. He should not be. But he did it. Anyhow, I'm not going to detail why he did and so on. So Hussein, he was saying that this is now going wrong direction. We are changing the system from Khilafah to kingship. And incidentally, the Kufa people, they said, we are few 100,000 and we will stand for you. But later what happened? The Khalifa people forced them to reverse them and so on. So Muslim ibn Aqil visited that place and he said, listen, they are not loyal to you. So he said very good word. He said, their hearts with you, but they are soured with rulers. Right? And same thing, it repeats in our history. We always have the same thing. We love someone, but we support other one. Right? It is same pattern. Anyhow, so when he was going there, so he made some people from, not Yazid, it's actually his governor. So the governor sent this person, you have to arrest him and take him to Yazid. So when he was in the journey of a very close part, which is called Karbala, so they said, we will. So he said, okay, I need three things. I am ready to do three things. Leave me, and I will sit in Makkah for ibadah. I will not do anything. He said, no. He said, okay, leave me, and I go to the frontier portion, and I will do jihad there. He said, no. He said, okay, leave me, and I will sit with Yazid. Whatever he decide, I will accept from him. He said, no, you have to accept him here. So he refused. The other part, which is very not clear, but there was, always munafiqun infiltrated. There were societies, and they were from both sides. They were from this side, from this side. So they were successfully did something to let them fight. So if this didn't happen, you can say it was wrong. Yes, it was wrong. It was planned, maybe planned or not planned, but it happened. And journey of Hussein radhiyallahu anhu is journey of stand for haqq, right? And sacrificing his soul. It is not the issue. But the issue is that if we say that only one person in our whole ummah is the only one who deserves for this thing. So before him, Umar radhiyallahu anhu, what happened with him? He was assassinated, right? And Osman? So why we not remember him? Hazrat Ali also. And strangely, the people who they are very, very, for example, loyal to Hussein, they ignore Hassan. Why they ignore him? You know why? Why they ignore him? Because he? No. It is one thing. Maybe you can say this. No. He actually patched the division of Ummah, and he surrendered for Muawiyah. So they don't like him. So anyhow, I'm not going to in personalities and so on, but this is the journey. But now what happened? It become a source of one group of Muslims. They become loyal to them. Now they link whole, kind of these things, and they make. So in our understanding that Yazid, we call him kafir. No, we will not call him kafir, right? We call him fasiq, maybe, right? But many things said about him, it may be not proven. But we consider him that he was not a role model for Muslim Ummah, right? And Hussein, and then the journey of Hussein is not limited to him. Next journey started in the time of Banu Umayyah, Banu Abbas, and so on. And this is going on there. So it's not the issue. But the issue is that if we remember him, we must remember him with his pattern of jihad, pattern of taking a stand, right? Not just crying for him or making, for example, in these days, lot of things happening. And this should not be, because Islam prohibit to do ta'ziyah or azab more than 3 days for anyone, except the husband, right? Salama, after 4 months and 10 days, he took some kind of, something to say, to come out from the iddah, and she said, I heard from Rasulullah, the azah is not allowed except for a woman if she has a husband passed away, 4 months, otherwise 3 days. So how we do ta'ziyah, this thing, right? So this should be in this way. Iddah, what is iddah? Yeah. Oh, iddah means actually this is, the rule is that in case of divorce and in case of death of husband, the woman, they should spend 3 period, or if they are pregnant, the pregnancy, delivery of baby. Why? Reason is that if there any kind of pregnancy elements is staying in their womb, it will appear. So when 3 period happen, it means, for example, the previous husbands, anything is not remaining there, so she can marry to other person. And pregnancy means it is also a clear evidence that the issue is gone. For a person, the husband has died 4 months, 10 days, and it is very strange thing, because the woman in a very, I can say, sorrow mode. So it take more than 3 months to be clean and free from any kind of, a remnant of the previous husband things, right? So in that sense, this is the reason why Quran says iddah. Iddah means count your days or your time to be available for next marriage and so on. Okay, the question is that some people and scholars argue that protesting is un-Islamic. But with world situation in Gaza, I feel it is our duty to support our brothers and sisters. So, if I not count myself a scholar, so maybe you're talking some other people. So some other people and scholars says, if you remember my first word, I said fiqh means 2 things, either literalist or logical. So suppose a literalist says the demonstration is haram, it is not Islamic, right? Okay, it is, maybe you can say, but the issue is that man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi. Hadith said, if you see something unaccepted, what should be my first job? To stand for it, right? To oppose openly. If not, then by hand, if not then from heart. So demonstration, it comes in which category? I am living in this country. Do I take gun and shoot everyone? I cannot, right? So what is the peaceful way to do this thing? To say at least by mouth. Right? So say by mouth. Yes, you can say that our protest should be different from others. Suppose singing, dancing, right, and making a lot of irregular thing. Yes, it should not be. It should be just like saying everything, right, and showing our support, our stand for this thing. It should be. I'm not, if I'm saying it is not, it is just some, no. But again, it should be fardul kifaya. What it means? It means some people, if they are doing, it is enough, right? For example, not everyone should be there and so on. And maybe other people they can write to their MPs, their MPPs, right? Or they can do other way to write something or do other way, many ways, right? So I'm saying, for example, we should stand for it and we show our support. And you can imagine that when this journey started of protesters, first was only few people. And that time it was a kind of harassment. Even police was taking it very, right? But alhamdulillah, Muslims showed it, and now you can see how many people are joining it. So I don't think it is a good way to understand it. Yeah. What is the ruling on the rows for women in the masjid? I have heard that they need to start from the back of the masjid, but then any newcomers woman will risk walking in front of someone who is praying. So should they start from the back, the masjid, or in the front of women's section? This is again, as I said, and I say always, literalist meaning or logical. So Rasulullah said, the best lines of women, the last one. And the worst line of man, the last one. Okay? It is the word. But now, suppose, now what we do now? We have a partition. We have a distance. So this application not apply to us. Right? It will apply only when they're just like a shoulder to shoulder. We can say back to back and so on. So if we are able to make space for women, and they can go here, they can start first line, second line, third line, this is not the issue, right? But the only thing that in salat is it ibadah. So it must be first line man, second line or second row for kids, and then, for example, for women. It should be in this way, right? We cannot stand side by side. But in program, this is not the ibadah. Maybe, for example, they can sit just like a two-row, right side, left side, and so on. So it is a different issue. But masjid issue is supposed to be. But not, we should not apply the rule when it has different way to apply it. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum. So we do have a few more questions that are here, and we want to get through it, but we don't want to delay the food. So there are some snacks and food items for kids, so we encourage, if there are any kids who would like to grab some, you can grab it. Just please try not to be too disruptive, because we do want to get through some of these questions.
The other question is niyaz halal? What is niyaz? Huh? The word niyaz actually is Urdu word, and it means that when we do some cooking, right? So then a person or imam will come and then he dua a special way. So it becomes just like a barakah, blessed. Then we distribute it. So it should not be. It should not be, right? Because, you know what? I say you one very important thing. Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, he's a cousin of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When he martyred, so what he said to people? Alu Ja'far shaghalahum shaghilun. The family of Ali Ja'far are busy with some very sorrowful things. So bring food for them. So what should be our niyaz? Instead of getting from others, we should, right? So it is, I'm saying it is some kind of custom. It was maybe started for socialization, but it become now a kind of mandatory. It should not be. And this not be, for example, any good idea. But just like suppose some snacks or some kind of social way, it is okay. It should not be a kind of religious blessing behind it and so on. I am looking to get, do you recommend that a couple lives with the parents after getting married, or should they get their own place? What if the financially difficult to get our own separate place? Yeah, this is a very difficult question, I can say. Easy answer is, if you have $1 million in your pocket, then you can marry. It is the easy answer, right? Is it easy? It is not easy, right? So it means what? Delay. You delay your marriage till you, for example, get. So the question which we must understand that yes, Islam encourage to start the family, those who married, to start their life independently. This is not the discussion issue. But if we make it mandatory, it is difficult. Opposite to it, we say, no, you have to live with your parents. This is also, if you make it mandatory, it is wrong. So it should be a kind of situation, different situation and so on. But what is important? The important thing is that as a husband, if he has a mother or father also, he must serve them if they need his service. Living separately or living together, but he must serve. So this is mandatory. Suppose wife says, no, your earning belong to us only. This is not a good idea. And same thing opposite to it. Husband is spending whole money for parents, not giving to family. This is also wrong. So issue is that how we create a balance, right? Yani as a husband, you are a son, you are a father, you are a brother, and so on. So how you manage all the relation together, it is most important thing, right? And it is, we should care about it. So in that sense, whatever situation there, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised that if you are not able to earn money, but if you marry, I will give you source. So maybe later, some time will come when they will start with their journey. But if you say it is mandatory, it is also a little bit, I can say, creating a problem or delaying the situation. Yeah, I'm looking to get married soon, inshallah, but I'm not sure what is the Islamically acceptable amount of contract between me and my potential spouses so that we can understand each other and be confident with our decision. Can we talk and text to ask questions to make sure we have the same value? Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam encouraged to see and decide. But the seeing not means dating, which is happening in our time, right? It is not a good idea in Islam, not accepted. Second thing is, meeting is okay, but khalwa or privacy, it should not be. So suppose if they meet in Tim Horton or some space which is, common place, so they can go there, maybe one time, two time, it is okay, and better to call them one time, two time, or text something. But going to every detail, I can say you with my experience, it mostly working negatively. It mostly works negatively. And our tradition was that suppose you have some kind of option your side, or your father or mother propose for you, and then you say, okay, I'm okay with it. So they go with details, right? Many details they go with it. And it is the best way, for example, to, if not, then at least make it under limited permission. So when we have a whole, right, we whole, so we should not make a big gate, right? And again, I can say you one thing. Trust yourself. If you trust yourself, you can trust your wife as well. But you are not sure about yourself, you will not trust herself as well. Right? So we can stop here now. Yes. Huh? Yeah. So Jazakumullah khair for your patience and for your I was little bit confused, so I took a little bit time. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah give us tafaqquh fi deen, understanding of deen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the way to understand Islam as it should be and to apply in our time. And whatever minimum effort we can do to learn Islam, it should be. And then we can go with practical part also. Jazakumullah khairan.